On the afternoon of the 5th of July 1984, Umaru Dikko, former power broker of Nigeria's Second Republic, stepped out of his home in West London's Portchester Terrace. Two men intercepted him. Within moments, he was overpowered, injected with anesthetics by an Israeli doctor, restrained, and sealed inside a large wooden crate marked Diplomatic Baggage, Nigerian High Commission. A second crate held accomplices. The plan was chilling in its simplicity: smuggle him out of Britain through Stansted Airport, fly him to Lagos, and parade him before a military tribunal. What the plotters did not anticipate was that the crates would be delayed, opened, and inspected. British customs officials, alerted by Dikko's secretary, who witnessed the abduction and puzzled by improperly documented diplomatic boxes, pried them open. Inside one lay Dikko, alive, unconscious, barely breathing, with an endotracheal tube to keep his airway clear. The discovery triggered one of the gravest diplomatic crises between Nigeria and the United Kingdom since independence. But to understand why a Nigerian government would attempt such an audacious abduction on foreign soil, one had to go back several years, to the heart of power in Dodon Barracks, Lagos, and the politics of excess that defined the early 1980s. Umaru Dikko was not just a minister. Under President Shagari, he was widely regarded as the most powerful civilian in Nigeria who was not the president. As Minister of Transport, and later head of the Presidential Task Force on Rice, Dikko controlled access to Shagari, influenced appointments, and was deeply involved in policy and patronage networks. Ministers, governors, contractors, and party chieftains all knew one thing: if Dikko blocked you, you were finished. His name became synonymous with corruption allegations, particularly the infamous rice importation scandal. Between 1980 and 1983, Nigeria spent billions of naira importing rice, even as local production collapsed. Contracts were allegedly inflated, import licenses were selectively granted, and kickbacks were rumored to flow through middlemen linked to senior officials. Dikko was repeatedly named in investigative reports and public accusations as a key figure coordinating approvals and benefiting from the scheme. Though never convicted in a court of law at the time, he became the public face of Second Republic corruption. Other allegations followed: foreign exchange racketeering, manipulation of port clearances in Apapa, abuse of discretionary powers, and the accumulation of unexplained wealth. His critics included members of Shagari's own National Party of Nigeria, NPN, senior civil servants, and opposition politicians. By 1983, Dikko's influence had become so controversial that even allies privately admitted he had become a liability. When the military struck on the 31st of December 1983, overthrowing Shagari and installing Major General Muhammadu Buhari, Dikko fled Nigeria. The new regime launched its war against indiscipline, and vowed to recover stolen public funds. Military tribunals were set up. Politicians were arrested and jailed. But Dikko, the most wanted of them all, was beyond reach, living openly in Britain. That frustration hardened into resolve. In 1984, elements within the Nigerian security apparatus, with Israeli accomplices, devised a plan to forcibly repatriate him. The operation involved Nigerian intelligence officers, alleged former Mossad agents, an Israeli anesthetist, and was coordinated with diplomatic cover from the Nigerian High Commission in London. Once Dikko arrived in Lagos, he would face trial, alive or not. The kidnapping itself was brutal and rushed. Dikko resisted. He was beaten, drugged, gagged, and restrained. The crate was equipped to keep him alive, but his condition was critical by the time it reached Stansted. British officials noticed irregularities, improper documentation, unusual weight, and suspicions raised by the abduction alert. When opened, the scene stunned everyone present. Britain reacted with fury. Nigerian diplomats were expelled. Diplomatic ties were severed for 2 years. Arrest warrants were issued. Nigeria denied direct involvement, but the evidence was overwhelming. The Buhari regime, already under international scrutiny, suffered lasting reputational damage. After the incident, Umaru Dikko remained in exile for over a decade. He lived quietly in London, largely withdrawn from public life, eventually marrying his former secretary, who had raised the alarm. He returned to Nigeria in the mid-1990s after assurances of safety, with no triumphant rallies or return to power. Umaru Dikko died on the 1st of July 2014, aged 77. Today, his story remains a cautionary tale of how unchecked power breeds resentment, how corruption corrodes legitimacy, and how states, in trying to punish lawlessness, can descend into it themselves. Few Nigerians of the 1980s embodied that contradiction more starkly than Umaru Dikko, the man the state tried to smuggle home in a box. For more pivotal clips like this that help preserve our national memory, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like, comment, and share.